Hey friends, welcome back to another video. Just wanted to go through the last session. So last session we had a bad session where we had quite a few coolers. We opened our range up as well. We did find a few spots where we could bluff, but we sort of found ourselves on the bad side of variance as well. So variance would be um, if you play the right moves, you can still lose hands. So you could have the best of it, like 70% of the time, 80% of the time, but sometimes that 30 or 20% comes in and your opponent wins. This is what variance is. It's just part of the game. If there was no such as variance, there'd be no such as win rates and lose rates as well. But the main thing there is to go back when you start having a few coolers. Definitely really think about trying to keep disciplined, try and play your best poker throughout, and hopefully you turn up on the other side a lot better. So you can start winning games a bit more before you just got to burrow down into the bunker and sort of just tighten up a little bit. Once you start hitting hands and a lot of hands, you can open up your range, but you've just got to adapt to the circumstances because sometimes you're invincible. We're going to start playing now, but we were definitely on the wrong side last time. We've got pocket jacks here, should be pretty good. We're in the small blind, so this is the worst position. So we've got a bet here, raise to 400. Usually raise a bit sharper pre-flop as well, especially out of position. So that's something we've changed up a little bit now. So we've got a steal there with ace 2, which is fine. Hit top set. Actually, we've hit the book. We can half bet this. We'll half bet this with ace king, ace queen. So you do this with the top of your range as well. If he's at a 10, he'll be in this for sure. Alright, so we just continue to keep betting here. Hopefully he re-raises, but hopefully he hasn't got like pocket 10s. But unfortunately he hasn't got enough of it. And that's what sometimes happens. Pocket queens in position here on the dealer button, beautiful. We made a little bit there. I mean, we could go for a check raise as well, but there was probably no point. 2 limpers, so we actually raise a bit more. No spade, which is concerned, so we probably bet a little bit more here. We can get some value from someone who's got a spade. Because we don't want to let someone in with a low spade for nothing. And someone chasing with like the nut flush with only one spade, you definitely want to make them pay to get that one turn. And then if the spade hits, you just quickly get out the hand. If not, you've made value on the turn. So. And of course, we sometimes, depending on the situation, we can bluff. Well, we can go with pocket 2s here. Got a 1-7 chance of getting it. We should have went for a steal with the 7-5. Oops. But yeah, usually with pockets, you've got a 1-7 chance of setting it up. So you don't want to pay too much. After the flop, you generally want to let go of the hands. But sometimes, if there's enough people in the hands, and if you're deeper stacked, then it is worth paying that extra price, especially if you know you're going to get stacks in. Say if someone's got ace king and they've hit the ace and you're still chasing for that too, but there's like 3 or 4 people in the hand. Sometimes it is worth paying a little bit of a sharper price knowing you're going to get full value, but just be aware when you just got to know when to let go of the hand. I'm going to bet here up against a limper and under the gun. Try and play against the under the gun. Because usually you should not limp in position, and we've just bought position now as well. Got 1 heart, which is not bad, so we can actually bet a little bit here. Sometimes he'll let go, and it should be an easy win. Just queen 5-3 is quite a dry board. There is two clubs there as well, so this should be an easy steal, and you should learn how to do that because you accumulate. If you start stealing pots like that all the time, you'll find that even on your losing sessions or sessions where you're not playing so great, you can turn even your worst sessions into, say, neutral, and you don't even barely lose. And you might be actually not getting your cards, but you won't even need your cards sometimes. And it just keeps your bottom end up. 300 here. I've been raising in this situation a bit, and I think I've been getting carried away especially in the last one. So we're going to go back into discipline mode and just fold with the ace 10. We'll have a look at what's going on. 10-8 in the big blind. Could be a big blind session here. not a great board. It's probably better for us than them, but we're at a position here. There's still 3 others in the board, like in the pop. So we'll just check it through. We're not going to try and steal up against 3 players. That's silly. And we didn't have initiative, so if we raised pre-flop, we probably could have actually bet that flop and started dropping a lot of people off. We could have went for the steal with Jack 8 there, but decided not to. I hit the straight on the river. So maybe we could have actually done a bit of a bluff there, but you got to draw a line somewhere, or you just got to absolutely really start leaking money. A6 in the big blind. Okay, we get an easy pot. If they kept doing that, it's pretty easy. But it's going to take a hell of a long time, especially if they don't give us chips. Okay, so we're in the small blind here. We should really bet here. There's usually per caller you raise a bit more. Alright, we'll go 1300. He's upset, but we're actually thinking about what we're doing. They're in position, got a half bet here. It is a dry board. I think we can call this. Actually, I don't think we can. It's actually really terrible. Actually, we can't call this really. So we're gonna let go of the hand with Ace King. Usually you hit the Ace and the King about 1/3 of the pot. So that'll be the odds to get a King or an Ace on the board. So remember that. Just 1/3 of the time you'll hit an Ace or a King on the board. But you really got to know when to drop it. Half the time there, everyone folds to. He called. He actually raised. Could have actually been chasing a flush. We didn't have position. If we didn't hit an Ace or a King, we could have been in no man's land. So that's why we just let go of the hand. We don't really think too much into it. Like, you know, is it too weak to do that? Is it too weak? This guy's shoving, but you know what we do. We do this with aces, kings, the top pair of hands. So if he's doing this into our aces, we're laughing. So we just let go of this for now. King, queen, but in the blinds, we'll probably fold this. Seems really tight, but we're in and out of position there. Especially if you don't hit the board. A lot of people have paired hands here. So it's unfortunate that we have the queen and the king now, but it was really hard to justify going all the way through. And plus our king might not be that great. We do have the queen now, but there's a possible ace out there. We wouldn't actually be too scared of the ace. I think we probably had the best hand there. But it's really hard to, when you're chasing your hands like that, you can get into all sorts of trouble. So you get rewarded for bad calls, and that's what you've really got to be scared of. This is a great board. Hopefully someone re-raises. We can even get stacks in here. All aces are in, diamonds, straight draws. Unfortunately, no one re-raises, but we win the pot without making the best hand, so that's still a bonus. We could have even checked there, possibly. Got a bet with Queen Jack suited. We're under the gun, so gotta be a bit worried, but it's a steal in the end. Jack 2 suited is a fold. And thanks for the comments, guys, recently as well. So I'm going to try and make Mondays where I do reactions for the comments. So I do enjoy answering all the questions as well. Got plenty of answers. Okay, we can open up here. Probably you can actually change the betting size on the dealer button. This is the perfect board for us. We're just going to half bet this. We half bet and continuation bet even the boards that we miss. So it's pretty easy for someone to actually follow along and see if we're bluffing. It makes us hard to play against as well. But when you're playing Zoom, it's a lot easier for them to let go and fold. But when you're playing a full ring, it definitely tests them. We're going to go for the bet 300 here. I might actually change the bet sizing when I'm not recording as well. So I might actually, we hit the 8s, nice, half bet. Yeah, just go. That's nice. Up against one player, we can bluff as well. 10-8 on the dealer button's no good. But you can actually change your bet sizing in the settings as well. So that might be something I'll be looking at doing, especially when you're trying to find those places to steal the blinds. So if it goes to the dealer and cut off and you do a bet and everyone folds, that's classified as a steal. You can do 3-bet steals as well, which is quite interesting. I'm going to go to 850 here, a little bit sharper because we're in the big blinds. Plus there was a limper as well. We're just going to flat call here with the ace-4 suited. We can half bet here. We're still out of position. Actually, we'll bet a little bit more. Probably go up to about 13. You can fold that a little bit. Yeah, see, we just steal there. That's fine. So we ended up just flat calling because we've got suited hand here. Oh, he's betting really, really strong here. This is a situation where, you know, I think we're folding. We've got the worst hand here. I mean, if there was 2 hearts on the board, I was happy. But it takes a bit of discipline to fold that hand. Trying to steal it. This is a steal. Possibly could possibly have a really good pocket pair there. Yeah, so he's hit a set there, so we'd have to flush it, which makes it even harder. And that's the reason why I ended up folding that, because I realized my ace wasn't good enough. 800 is too expensive here, so we just fold. It really, if you bet 800 pre-flop to go for a steal, it's just too much. You've got to realize you've got to try and work out off the table what you're trying to aim for when you go for steals. If you can try and make the maths, or you can even look it up yourself. There's plenty of people. Say we could bet here if you want. He's in the cutoff. We're going to let go of the hand. King Jack, not great out of position, and it's not suited as well. Which, it's only 5% of, it only adds like 2 or 5% of your hand value, but definitely out of position, it can definitely help your hand strength, especially in a multi-way pot. Alright, I'm going to open up King Queen offsuit. Not a great hand. This is probably the bottom of our range that we're going to play in. Someone's shoving all in. It's just silly. I mean, it looks like this is what someone's tilted, or someone's not getting full value and they're just being lazy. We don't mind if they keep doing that, because eventually they're going to shove into our aces, or, you know. I'm going to bet a little bit more here, 400, because he has limped in. Quickly fold out at ace-9. We're looking for the queen. So he's doing a block bet. Problem is, it's a multi-way pot. It could hit a lot of their ranges. So we'll call it only 100. We could probably raise that before. It was a situation where you decide to raise. You got to put him on a jack, if not straight or something like that. So I reckon he's hit there with the jack. He's trying to defend the hand. So he's either hit the straight or hit the jack, and he's trying to defend the hand. The other guy was chasing, probably. Oh, they were both chasing. Wait a sec, were they both chasing? Ace-10. So he hit the 10, so he just called all the way through. That was pretty amazing call there from our opponent. So he had the best hand anyway. I don't think we didn't win the hand anyway. So even if we called the bluff, and they were bluffing, we didn't even win their bluff. So that's half the challenge as well. Especially when you're starting to get slightly better in bucket poker as well. You can start reading when bluffs are there, but you don't necessarily win every time you can pick a bluff. Sometimes you don't have the hand strength to call the bluff. It's always nice to know that you've called and you've succeeded in making finding the bluff, but you probably get a little bit hurt from calling those hands anyway. Jack 2's okay, but we don't have a club here, so we're not going to get too excited over this. We could try and defend jacks here. I'm going to bet a little bit more with queens here, because we are out of position, so a little bit sharper. Mid pocket pairs. Sometimes you can actually flat call here, but out of position, it's not a great board. because someone with an ace or a king and you're out of position, you just don't know where you stand, and people can raise you, and you make most of your chips or money in position. Just remember that, guys. So you start making most of your money should be in the dealer button, then the cutoff, and then the hijack. That's usually how it goes. And then the really good players will start making more money. Like, they'll start getting win rates from, say, under the gun or hijack. Okay, we can fold this. But you really need really good discipline, especially when you start expanding your range. We'll bet here. We're going to bet a little bit more in the small blinds. We're going to go 500. It is a good hand, especially against limpers as well. This is an awkward hand. We're out of position. I'm just going to let this go because we can be put in a lot of bad situations. We've got to bet a bit more because we're in position here. We're going to make it out of position. We're going to make people. We're going to charge them for being in position against us. That's not a great board for us, especially when it's been hard. But we know we still have to bet anyway. We're going to bet to 2,000. Sorry. He could raise us if he's hit the flush. We can check and see if he checks behind. Hopefully, we've got the best hand. I think there's a lot of hands here that this is the problem about being out of position. We have charged him. If he didn't connect with the board, I don't think he would have called. If he didn't connect, so I'm gonna let go of the hand there. And we did have a chance of making the straight as well, but we had to make the bet with, especially on the turn. You've seen plenty of hands where we've made the bet on the turn, they've called, missed the flush, it goes check, check, and we win the hand. But there was actually a flush on the board. So there was a chance that he had a hand. Not that we were worried, there was a straight there as well. Could have been a lot of two pairs as well. We didn't really have a strong hand. It was an okay hand. But we had to make a choice. That's what you're going to stick by, is your choices. Okay, we bet a little bit more. King 8 in position now, so we can actually bet at this. Just half bet. Good board, Jack, Jack 7. Hopefully one folds. We just bet again, and hopefully he just folds and we win the hand. And we can go check. He's called, so he's connected on the board. I'm going to make another bluff. He's got ace 5. That's unfortunate. Sometimes people call, especially, this is why it's a little bit harder to bluff with this when you're playing fake money. But of course, we might have actually made another bet and he would have folded. But it means he's going to make a few more wider calls. He could actually put a note on that player. Could have bet a bit more with pocket queens out of position. But there would have been a lot of times where we hit the board there and would have been better. And probably got stacks in, so that's just unfortunate. You don't look too much into. So what majority of people do as a mistake, they look at the actual what's happening, like what is it, the result of the hand. When you're chasing, like when you look at results, and that's how you go. Oh, you know, I got the result. I played the hand great. I got the result I wanted. It's not the case. It's you're gonna have bad hands, but you played well. We're just gonna go all in here. If he's hit the king, he's hit the king. You might even fold this. But yeah, don't always think about how the hand played. If you win all full stacks, get all the stacks in, doesn't mean you've played the hand great. So that was a nice hand for queens. I'd probably put him on mid pocket pairs or something like that, and that's perfectly how you play. Ooh, out of position, 1,000. So he's raised us. Usually it means pocket pair. Sometimes could have ace king. Could have a worst hand here. We're out of position here, so this is a position where a lot of people would actually re-raise or fold, or no, re-raise or call. I'm going to do a tight fold. And look at this board, we're out of position. And it just puts Toby Stolly into a situation there where he can probably bluff all over these boards. And if we've missed the board, don't have a spade or anything like that, it's really hard to continue, especially in a multi-way pot. And that's where you save money on those folds. If you find yourself not making, like if you're not getting a win rate, but you're winning certain hands, those folds there make a huge difference. This is a situation I was talking about before. We're going to chase the 6 on the turn because we could possibly triple up. Unfortunately, didn't make the hand. We're still chasing a 7, but the 7 could be poison. I'm going to let go of this hand because even if the 7 hits, it might not be good enough. Let's see what they've got though. So if you make one call, doesn't mean you have to make the river call. I hit 2 pair, who's chasing the flush. Opening up with A6 suited, looks nice. Okay, so we're going to bet into him. Or actually, it's not. We can continue to bet. We'll fold Queen 4. Don't feel like 3-betting there. We could have. I was thinking about it. Chips are a bit low here. I'm going to add up. So that's another thing too, what you can do. Is make sure you keep your chips up. So you keep your chips up. So when you get the best hand, you make the most chips. So if you're playing really good and you chip up, you can definitely, like if you've played, just for instance, if you've got aces now, I can chip up and get it to about 20,000 chips on here. But if you've only got like 4,000 chips, it only goes to like 8,000. So you can see it can really hurt your win rate by not topping up your chip stack. You really should be looking at topping up your chip stack on a regular basis. And you can actually do it on PokerStars Automatic. Also on, you can do that at Casino too. I used to put $5 or $10 after every so often. Alright, we can continue betting here. This is value bet as well. There's a club here. In position. Everything looks good. Raises, but doesn't raise much. We'll get a call. It's because we hit a club on the turn. Got a lot of bets we could do on the turn. Sometimes what people do here, when they raise on the flop, they could be getting a free card on the turn. So always make sure you bet on the turn. Because that's a little bit of a trap that they do. So you make them... Alright, we're going to make one call and see how he goes. Alright, we call. Okay, win the hand. But a lot of people will check raise, or they check raise on the flop and check to you on the turn, looking to get that free card on the river. So make sure you pay. Make sure you pay them. Like, don't pay them. Make sure they pay you for the best hand. We're in position. We're out of position here, so I want to raise. Probably go to about 3-5. I think. Probably looking at shoving all flops here as well. It's hard to get out once you do this size. If he shoves all in, they're falling. Yeah, so we're just shoving all in. And that's fine. He's got ace king. If he hits the ace or the king, that's fine as well. We know we've played the best hand. Especially in pre-flop. And we just get stacks in no matter what. Even if he shoved into us, we're not folding there. Poker 4 is out of position. It's a lot harder to get paid out of position, just remember that. So we're just going to let go of the hand here. Probably could have called. Probably could have called that. Because I did say in a multi-way pot, you're more likely to get paid, especially with an ace or a king. So with that theory, we should have actually probably called. We can check. Got a lot of good turns here. Okay, so we can actually raise here on the turn, make a lot of people fold here. It's a little bit of a play. Any jack, hearts will do here. Aces could be good here as well. So we can actually, we're going to raise here. It just puts them in a little bit of a bind. Unfortunately, we miss everything though. But that's the nature of the game. Sometimes we could bet here as well. Sometimes they might have not made their straight or flush as well, but we'll check through, see what they've got. Ace king, he's hit the king. So that's fine. And he's mucked his hand. What did he have? Jack king, so not a good hand, Jack king offsuit. Especially in a multi-way pot like that, he was never going to be really good. He was either going to run into a better kicker, or run into me with, you know, the flush or a straight. So it makes sense that it was no good there for him to play the way he did. Fix up the screen a little bit. Really annoying sometimes they change the side. It just changes the size. I'm gonna try and do a steal here. Sometimes they make one call and then we can steal on the flop. We can continue the call here. We've got an ace, which is pretty good. Heads up. We'll bet into him and see what he does. We'll let go of the hand now. He'll probably bet us. Yep, bet into us. We'll just let go. A lot of times they would have sent the king or the queen if they haven't hit. They had small pockets or medium pockets. They definitely would have probably let go on the flop. Some people might call on the turn, but those people make too many calls on the turn and you'll make their money. You'll get their chips elsewhere. Guys are shoving all in. Get out of that hand. For kings, his trips, nice. The guy that made the worst shove gets 500 under the gun. We can actually fold this because it's under the gun. Quite tight, but he is under the gun. Gonna check here. Alright, let's raise it up a little bit. Just out of position, but we do have a suited ace, which is nice. And we can sometimes represent an ace or a king when on the flop. One person's folded, which is good. Let's get to the 7-8 offsuit. We're going to try and continue to start stealing more hands as well. So beautiful. We can bet into this a little bit more. There is a heart, 2 hearts on the board as well. I'm going to do something wacky. 6-8 suited. He raises into us. We've got a weak kicker here, so I'm going to let go. But a lot of times there we'll have the ace king or a really strong ace. So him raising into us would 9 times out of 10 be happy with. Alright, I'm going to bet with pocket kings. Hopefully someone's got something. Alright, we can bet this. This could be a good board, especially after we bet. He re-raised and shoved all in. Has he hit a set? I don't know. We're calling. Yeah, unfortunate there. We probably could have folded. The alarms are going off in the background. So I told myself I was going to play for half an hour. After that bit of a cooler. 7-6, shoving all in. Probably never letting go there because a lot of jacks, 10s, 9s are shoving in there as well. So it just stinks a little bit, but that's fine. And the board just has to pair up as well. So the board just pairs up. So if the board just pairs up, you're winning as well most times because they've got low cards. Fold that one. Alright, 1 second. Alright, so we just made it back for 7-10 fold. Pocket 7's nice. I just had the alarm going off, so I just had to fix that up. Probably could have called with 7s, but I like to bet the pocket pair. Raise with pocket jacks. We should have the best hand here with pocket jacks. Hit the set, which is nice. Just got a half bet here. Just continue milking this player. Yeah, just continue doing it. I'm gonna bet a little bit more. We're just gonna check here. You might have a flush. If not, yeah, straight. A set, sorry. That's unfortunate. He got lucky there. We played the hand the best we could there. We didn't give him any extra that we need to. I mean, we knew he called the flop and the turn, so we made our value if he was behind. We just had to let go of the hand. Well, my cat is just jumping everywhere at the moment, just going on all benches, tables, knocking everything over. Before I had the alarms going off, because I told Google to set the alarm for half an hour, just to let me know when the half an hour kicked up. But I had two Google alarms going off at the same time while I lost on that pocket king, so that was quite funny. That was, you'd say stressful times a little bit, but no, I wasn't really stressed. I mean, you don't get too stressed playing poker too much. If you do, it's probably not for you. We've hit the flush here, which is nice. A lot of people are chasing maybe with an ace, so we have to charge people with the ace. I keep them in the hand as well, so we don't bet too much. King 2, probably letting go here. Okay, so we just continue betting here. If he shoves into us, we're definitely calling. If he's hit the straight, we've got a better hand, so we just continue to bet. Chances of ace X suited, it's very slim there, so even if he shoved, I'm probably calling. He had queen 3, he had 2 pairs, so made a good hand there. And that's what I'm talking about. So if some of these guys, they do beat you with these 2 paired hands, they're definitely going to lose more in the long run against you with their silly 2 pair hands, like, you know, really queen 3 or whatever it was. It's not a good hand, and he's going to lose a lot more in the long run. That's what you need to be looking at. But you can see how you can get suckered into certain hands, and you win 2 or 3 or 4 in a row, even in a short period of space. But in the long term, you're going to lose. But in the short term, it feels like, you know, it's a great hand. And before you know it, you've just convinced yourself a bad hand's a good one. I'm going to call here, see if we can get clubs on the turn. Get the clubs on the turn. We have a strong jack here, so we could actually bet this and represent a club, hopefully, but we'll see. Just letting go queen 5 suited. Just getting value here. If we're going to get another club on the board, there might be a chance we don't get a caller. Unfortunately, we miss, but we still got the 7, so even if they've been chasing, we could still have the best hand. Yeah, so they were chasing, we had the best hand still. That was best case scenario. At pocket 5s. Oh, he was chasing the flush as well, so we had to make sure we bet. 6-7 suited, not great hand, but we're in position. Continue to bet here, might go a little bit more. Hoping to get a fold. Didn't get a fold. Do have a heart in position. So this is the reason why you play in position. We get a free card. We don't get... And there you go. And that is the reason why you play position. And then we can just do a simple bet and win the hand, hopefully, and get a call up. Okay, he's thinking he could go over the top. But no, we got the free card and win. But when you're out of position, they often make you pay. And you saw me doing it with the previous hands, where you're betting to make them pay to get their hand. This is where you... Oh, I actually really want a 250 bet there, but I'll have to fix that up. while I'm not recording. And we can call here, I think, with 10-9 suited. It's only heads up. We'll check to the razor. I don't know how great this is. I think we're behind. So we'll just let go of the hand. That's fine. Probably shouldn't have called his raise there pre-flop, but it's heads up, so it's a little bit different in the blinds. It's a little bit of a battle. They can have a wider range as well, but 10-9 suited is a wide range in itself, so you've got to be a bit wary. Maybe I shouldn't have made that call. Not going to call here. If I was the last one, maybe do a call. There is a straight, there's clubs, there's pretty much everything. Let's see if it's a good fold. Everyone folds anyway, but even a 9 was good there, so I can justify a fold there pretty easily. Okay, we can raise this out of position a little bit more. I'm gonna raise pocket 9s. Pocket 9s is a great hand. Gonna bet here 1300. A little bit sharper because we're out of position as well. A lot of hands will actually get folds as well. Now we can actually represent a lot of hands with ace king and win the hand. That should be a steal. It's beautiful. You gotta make sure you represent your hand. That is the most important part with that play. 9s, ace queen 7. It's not great. We could probably raise here, but I probably might do it if it was suited. I'm just gonna check though. I'm gonna let go of the 9s. We are in position there, but it was just we didn't even have a heart. Hit a 6 at least. But I'm gonna let go. Pocket kings. Oh, here you play pocket kings. Oh, he did have an ace on the board. Alright, gotta raise pocket 8s here. And we can bet here with ace 5 offsuit. We're in position against the limper, so we can try and isolate. We have a caller out of position. We can bet a little bit more because we're out of position here. A lot of times we'll have a king. He might fold, and that's pocket 8s. That's a win. Letting go of ace 5 here. No point. Someone betting into us. They've connected onto the board. The board's not the best for us either. Bet 250 here. We can get a re-raise or a raise. Maybe it was a little bit low because we're out of position. I didn't actually mean. I actually meant to go 300, but misclicked it. That's fine. We got the call. Let's go a little bit. 360 is fine. Call king 10 offsuit. Neat little hand to win with kings. Not great though, but it's still a win. It's a shame that we lost those pocket kings before. But it does happen. Can't let it get the better of you. All in. People just go all in. Even with... They just get so excited. Maybe a premium pocket pair or ace king, they just shove all in. I don't want to play post flop. Bet here king queen offsuit against the limper and isolate him. And that's fine. King 3 suited. Alright, let's open up king 3. It's a little bit dodgy, but we'll play it. Okay, we're in position now, which is nice. We've connected the 3. A lot of these boards, they could have ace. So we could have the best hand. I'm just going to flat call the 50. See if we can get suckered into the hand. Jack 9 suited is an interesting hand. it's going to connect to the board usually 9 times out of 10. We did bet pre-flop, so we could probably bet the ace and get a lot of folds here. Alright, we do beat bluffs. I hit the straight with the ace, so that was unfortunate. We didn't hit the straight. I think, yeah, we definitely had the best hand there. Until the ace come out, unfortunately. And that was on the turn, I think it was pretty sure it was on the turn. Get rid of the 4-3. Yeah, sometimes it just happens. They play these, especially in the blinds, they think they've got to play more hands than not. We're going to bet here. We do have a chance of hitting a straight. And Jack 9 just always seems to connect somehow. That's why it's such a scary hand to play. Queen Jack offsuit under the guns, a fold. Ace King suited, here we go. Ace King, let's see how we go with this one. We do like Ace King. Especially suited. There's just something about it. I'm going to bet a little bit more just because we're out of position here. Get a lot of folds. We're in position now. And win the hand even though we didn't connect the board. So that's fine. And we'd even make that bet even when we did connect as well. So it just makes you a force to reckon with if you know those spots. You know, this is play money and we're still bluffing or winning pots. A lot of people say it's different, but it's not. So usually the difference between play money and, you know, real money, obviously, people do make more mistakes. Like with fake money, obviously you see a lot of weak pair two hands. But there's also a lot more variance as well. We're out of position here, so we've got to bet a little bit more. Probably still could have bet a bit more than that. We do have top pair here. We're going to bet up to 2,000. 2-2. Alright, we're going to flat call this. Sometimes that greedy bet's the fold though. He's done the greedy bet. I'm going to call him anyway. Let's see. Yeah, the greedy bet on the turn. That's the fold. So I should have folded on the turn. It was the greedy bet. Anyway, it's a good example. When I say greedy bet, now you know what I mean. It was a terrible call on the turn. I should have followed the turn. But I didn't let go. And once I called the turn, I was calling the river. This session's not turning out that great either. But you just try and not lose your nerve, because when you're having a losing session, you can turn it into an even worse session, and you know it can really hurt your win rate if you lose your cool. So we keep our nerve. I'm gonna bet into this because there's still a chance that we've got the best hand here. Try and defend sevens, especially. Oh, okay, we gotta let go now. The jack is not a bad hand, bad card for the 7. Yeah, unfortunately, he hit the flush on the flop. The other guy was chasing, so we'll plan against him, but unfortunately, we had no chance against the other guy. Alright, we're only essentially down about 10,000. That's not really that much, it's just a point. Because you started with 270 in this session, so that's not too bad. The session before we started with about 308, so we're down a little bit, so we're hitting a bit of variance. But during these downtimes, just keep your nerve. Because you know, you gotta have those crushing sessions where, you know, before you know it, you're gonna get I'm going to make 50, 60, even 100,000 sometimes in some sessions. But you just got to keep your nerve. And that's why you have a bankroll. Try and keep strict bankroll. That's the secret. And make sure you do the tight folds, especially to the greedy bets as well. We can make a call, get an 8, maybe a diamond on the turn. Would check raise, but I don't think it's probably a bit too crazy. Alright, we're gonna let go of this. It could be a jack there. Might be just betting into another hand as well. The flush might not even be good, even if it's even if they might have had, what do you call it? They might have even had a I can't even talk. It's fold 7. They might have had the full house. So there was no point there. I'm pretty tired as well. Been working long hours lately. In just over a week, I do start holidays, and I will be making quite a few more videos. I'm just going to fold his bet into the ace there. He's going to half bet this. We've hit trips at least. Oh, yeah, we've hit trips, which is nice. Probably could have checked there as well. Probably should be looking into how to play the trips a bit better. But the trips they're not really the great hand. We're going to isolate against the fish here. Against the cutoff. Okay, we've hit air, but we've got a gut shot. If he's got picture cards, he's folding there a lot of time. Oh, I could bet into this. We can bet one more time, make it really awkward for him out of position. Oh, we hit the straight as well. So we just continue to bet and okay. Let's see what he was chasing us down with. Queen 9. So he was chasing a straight as well, but a lower straight. Usually at the casinos, you don't run into those type of hands though, especially with the real money type hands. Okay, we hit the straight. Okay, we're starting to come alive here actually. I'm actually gonna bet. We got a 9 here. Get a few folds. Probably gonna let go of the hand. Otherwise, depending what happens next. Alright, it's a scary card, so we're gonna bet that again. There's another scary card as well. 9 could be good, but I doubt it. Not when he bets like that. In the hijack. Alright, let go. Sometimes when you're sitting in a full ring, or not a full ring, but when you're sitting with the same players non-stop, you do get reads on players. So then you can start isolating the fish. If you don't know what a fish is a player who is a bad player. Sharks are the good players. A whale is someone that's got a lot of money. And sometimes you hear the term bloated whale. That's someone who's not afraid to gamble. And they even have that much money, they try and bully you off the table. Alright, we can bet this a little bit more. We're out of position here. Make people pay for being in position on us. Just to adjust our bet sizing here. We have a spade as well, so if another spade comes on the board as well, we're not dead in the water. And just continue the bet here, probably just half size. We're in heads up here. I'm actually just going to pot size this again. I think we could have the best hand. If he's hit a set, I'm not really worried. But that was a nice little hand. Let's see what he had. I think, yeah, so he had ace 2. So he hit top pair, but he had a weak kicker. So that was a nice hand. We had the best hand, even without the queen. So it's just a nice hand to continue to keep betting on the turn, betting on the river. And it just gives you, it's just a good example of why you don't cold call. So cold calling is when you don't, we just flat call. So if I raise 600 or whatever it is, you call. That's a cold call. Typically cold calling is not great. Usually a cold call with the worst hand. So when you have that mindset, it actually stops you from cold calling. So if you can't raise the hand, you shouldn't be in the hand. On average, in a multi-way pot as well, the more people in the pot, the stronger the hand you need to win the ball in the hand. So, you know, when your head's up, you know, top pair hand, like a top pair is definitely a good hand. But say in 3-way or 4-way pot, multi-way pot, it's definitely, you're looking at trips, flop, straights, flushes, typically. You know, some people would say that the set is the pass mark, say in a 3 or 4-way pot, just on average. I'm going to bet here just a little bit. Someone could have the ace, someone could be chasing the flush here as well. So we're going to continue to bet. Probably could have bet a bit more since we're out of position. That's what we've been doing. So I'm going to go a little bit higher just because I think I can get more value out of his ace. I probably could have bet a bit more on the flop as well. What did he have? He did have the ace. So we did lose a bit of value by not betting at least 3/4 pot. Yeah, we're in the hijack 4-6 suited. It's not a great hand, but we do have position now. Okay, we're going to bet into them. Or I'm going to continue the bet. I've got a free card here as well now. If he bets into us, he's got a good hand, but unfortunately we missed. If he bets into us, he's probably got a king, trying to get value. If he doesn't bet into us, we could probably try and bluff him off the pot. Means he might have been chasing a flush or a straight. Alright, we're going to fold. I'm just going to check here behind, save some money if we're behind. Because he was never going to call the second best hands there, especially on a scary board. There's just some boards that you can just sense when your opponent isn't going to make those calls, especially a weak call. Unless they're heavily tilted. Here's a good board for pocket eights. We're going to bet into that. We're in position, everything's fine. He didn't raise us, so we can bet into him. Hopefully he hasn't got an ace. If he hasn't got an ace, he's letting go, and then we can just win with pocket eights. If he's greedy, he's got to raise again. So we just check here. I think he's got a queen. He bets into us. He's trying to get value as well. The flush is there as well. There's a lot of hands that beat us. I'm going to put him in a queen. Pocket eights actually hold up, so that's nice. We got full value. Yeah, so he's actually chasing on. He was chasing the flush on the river. Maybe we need a queen there to get it. Could have the best hand here. Fold. Okay, throwing the snowball at us. Quite funny. Might have been beating him a few times. Could have just flat called this out of position. If we can hit the 7. Could have fold King Jack against the limper. Wow, that's what tilt's all about. We're going to fold there. These over the top shoves just frustrate. It just shows frustration for your opponent. It just means they've been losing hands and they want people to fold and just trying to get full value out of it. That time we got extremely lucky, but when you go over the top like that, you're going to get more folds than calls. And for your nutted type hands, or if you've got a really good hand, you don't really want to be doing that. We're going to raise here with ace 5 suited. Ace 2 to ace 5 suited, you can play as a 3 betting bluff range. We're just gonna flat call. We can have a lot of flops here that can help us. Like this one. Alright, we're gonna call 8-9. Here we go. This is a good hand. This is actually a good board for 8-9 suited. I'm gonna half bet this. We're out of position, so I'm gonna raise a bit more. Could have king. We're gonna bet this one up. We've got mid pair with a straight flush draw. If he's got a king, we're out. Someone could be betting with a flush now. I think everyone's just checking all the way. It's 500. This is the type of hand where someone's got a king surely, but we'll make a call. Okay, didn't have a king. It was cheap enough to call. There was the chance also, the reason why you call is because when the board pairs up, it is a lot harder for your opponent to have that hand. So keep that in mind as well. Out of position, get a fold. Top pair here. We're in the dealer. We're in the big blind here, so it could be one of those tricky situations. Don't normally get paid off for big hands in the blinds. We're just gonna call. Gonna keep pot control. I'm gonna let go ace-9 suited out of position. Could have the best hand here, especially when the board pairs up. I'm gonna call. There could be a flush draw there that's missed. Hit jack on the river. Fine. We're not doing too bad. We've after a couple of bad, we made that bad call, especially after the greedy bet. Apart from that, we haven't played too bad. We've played a little bit tighter, which is what we tried to aim for. Won a few good hands. We can bet here in position. Let's bet here. Sixes could be good, but it's a multi-way pot. Also, when you build up the pot like this, we can make a call, and if we hit the 6 that we're laughing. Really, this guy's shoving against all our range. We're just folding. I'm going to make a flat call. We actually finish here the action, so I'm going to make a flat call. There is a deep stack there. And if we do hit the 2, we're really, or if we do hit the 6 there, we're really laughing, but fortunately missed the hand. Okay, so we're just going to let go of the hand. I think 6 are good there. If we hit the 6, could have been really good. Could have just checked, and who knows, he would have bet. Okay, pocket 9s. A little hand. Those little just accumulate. Pocket 7s looks pretty good. Okay, let's bet pocket 7s. We're in position. In position. Hopefully get a bit of a bloated pot there. Miss everything, but we can bet here and get a lot of folds. It is a scary board. That's another pocket 7s we win. Just those hands, they just add up, and you can see just how many times we do it. And a lot of times people will try and catch us when we've actually made the straight or top 2 pair there in that such position. So I've got a feeling I want to raise there, but I've decided not to. I want to get too carried away. So I've made 50. 50, just over 50 playing. That's another thing too you got to keep an eye on. And when you're keeping good bankroll management, you got to make sure you don't have too many chips on the table, especially when you're first starting out. When you have a few wins, you could definitely be over your bankroll. We can raise here. There's a cat. Okay, we can bet into him. We don't want to get a free card for our opponent. Unfortunately, got a free card. Could raise us. I'm not happy. The reason why I wasn't really happy with that King of Spades, he could have a flush, but it was just a scare card, and it was hard to get calls. So there would have been a lot of other chances where, if anything else happened, he might have actually had, he would have found the call. Even like with top two, maybe. Because we did have a straight, so we beat a lot of cards there, but could have been chasing another flush there, I guess. Alright. Totally killing it in the second table again. Well, actually, it's the first table on the TV, on the screen. A7 suited, nice. In the big blind, a little bit reckless. If they will fold, it's paid off. It actually worked. That was lucky. Lucky to run into a good board like that. Open up with King Jack offsuit. Tough bet. We hit. Ooh, top two. Could have a king. Hopefully he's got a king. Maybe bet up a little bit more. We're going to do the greedy bet. Okay, we're going to bet 2-7 there. We've hit the book. Okay. If he's hit the set, he's hit the set. Like he's got trip fours. So be it. There you go. If he wins the hand, he wins the hand. Even at 97%, 90%, he can definitely still win the hand. It's just a low chance of doing it. We're never folding there though. It's very hard to fold in such a position. And he was trying to actually goat me. So he actually believed he had the best hand there. So he's trying to goat me into a call. Thinking I probably had a mid pair. But yeah, we ended up booking it in the end. Okay, we're in position. Get a 1200 ace king offsuit. Who have... It's not the greatest board for ace king offsuit. They'll probably go check, check, check. Three-way pot. It's probably hit their board, their range. More than happy to get free cards, which they're doing. But we definitely haven't got the best hand. I can even fold this. I know I don't have the best hand. Okay, queen. Even though it's such a low bet, there's just no point there. But he might have actually folded. Maybe I should have done a continuation bet there. We had 3 cards, which was fine. Had a position here, 10-8. We hit the 8, but it wasn't. Okay, we can do a half bet here, try and get some value out of an ace or a king. Don't forget one caller. No. So he must have had a king or an ace. Hit the ace. Nice. They got some value there. You gotta remember to do those value bets as well. Ace 9 suited, beautiful. Ace 9 suited would have been nice on both boards there. Okay, get a bet here a little bit. I'm gonna let go 2-3 offsuit. Never a great hand usually. That's another out for us as well. Now we need a 4. Unfortunately, we miss. Let's go through, and yeah, unfortunately we've missed everything. We gave ourselves a chance to re-raise there as well. A lot of 2-pair hands there. Yeah, ace 5. We hit top pair. 7's there as well, so an overpair. So if we hit our card, we're definitely getting pocket 7's there calling us. Depending on what card it was. Get a raise there. We can pot size here. We've got an open ender. Ace king in position. No. Okay, we hit the straight. No, we don't hit the straight. Okay, we're gonna bet this ace king. It's a bit of a dry board. I'm just gonna flat this. We've still got an open ender. We could have the best hand here, funny enough. We're up against a picture card, but yeah, I'm gonna fold. Free card coming. Alright, we check behind. Still could have the best hand here. Takes guts to thin bet this, but pocket kings well. Takes a lot of guts there to thin bet sometimes if you know your ace is good. Sometimes you don't have to. Okay, we're gonna call. Sometimes you don't have to pair it up to have the best hand, with especially with ace king. Don't have a heart. Let's just go let go of the hand. It's cheap, but we don't get sucked into it. We're gonna open up ace 8 suited. I'm gonna call 7's. Sevens could actually be good here. Ace might be okay. We could probably call. He hits the straight. Okay, we're gonna bet this. It's very hard not to bet this one. It's good that we've got position here as well. It's such a dry board. Jack 3, 4. So it's a really good board for pocket 7's. This is a good spot to raise, but I'm gonna fold. Especially in the small blind. If it was suited, I probably would have raised. Open up with 8, 7 suited. Probably not great. Probably a bad choice. Okay, we've got a gutter. Chance of a backdoor flush draw. Okay, win the hand. Didn't necessarily have the best hand there, but it's good. Going to continue the betting a bit sharper as well. We've got spades now. And don't always have to have the best hand to win the hand there. I'm going to bet, raise it, pocket 2's out of position. This is a really good flop for pocket 2's. I'm going to continue the bet. Going to still continue here. Probably a little bit higher just to try and force him out. This is actually really bad for us. It's a really bad board for us. Even an ace beats us here. We got counterfeited. So the only chance we had was to bluff the board. But when someone raises into us, our hand was caught in the cookie jar. So we can 3-bet this. But it was worth a bet because a lot of people would have found the fold button there. It's quite a scary board. Okay, we fold this. Wow. Shoves all in. Calling a position. Deep stacked. Please hit a 6. All in 726. I've got a call for 26, obviously. Probably should have bet with the 6s there. Can't afford to let him go one more time without it. Bets into us. I'm sure we're calling, but I don't know. I don't like it. Wow, he hit the 6. He hit the 7. But we didn't lose the bank. Yeah, we didn't lose the bank, but it was a little bit annoying. Yeah, I'm just gonna fold with ace 10 there. Alright, I'm going to stop the session very soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you've gone this far as well. And just remember, feel free to ask questions in the comments. I will definitely answer them in like I'll release a video on Monday. Check that one, that's fine. Hit the 3, which could be good, but there's so many players in the hand that don't get suckered in. Finish the situation there with the Queen 9 suited. Hit the pair and got the flush draw. Second to the king. Okay, so we're gonna bet this. I wanted to actually check raise, but hit the queen, so still could have the best hand here. Unfortunately not though. That's fine. Okay, I got a bet here. If we hit the jack, we get a score quite big here, I think. Don't have a club though, that's the problem. Ace will win this, probably. Alright, I'm going to call just for the fact that we do have spades. Alright, I'm going to let go 10-5 suited. There's another spade, we were happy, but unfortunately it didn't come out. Alright, so we hit top pair, hit the top pair, which is nice. Just a nice little 1,000. Hopefully they get raised, hopefully get one caller and it finishes up on the turn. Yeah, continue the bet. The second best hands might call here. Just check, check. He didn't get the flush or the straight, hopefully. Wow, 2 pair on the river. So you can tell we've sort of dried up now. We had a section there of this session where the hands were falling into our laps, but now you can find some bad rivers are heading our way. That was just amazing, that river. But we played it perfectly. Like, we made him, made him pay for the ultimate, and then unfortunately he got there. I'm going to call here just because 6-4 is a bit off. I don't think he's going to put us on this range. 7 comes in, I think we're getting stacks in. Alright, let's raise here in position. That was pretty silly of me with 6-4 offsuit. Make this my last hand, I think. Been a good session. Did play pretty badly to start with, but then it wasn't too bad at the end. We did come good. Now it's just dried up a little bit more. See, pocket 8s again. That's how you play. Perfect. Alright, gotta stop this hand, next hand. Thanks again. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And yeah, take care. And I'll try and post a video the next day as well. Alright, thanks guys.